Welcome back, friends. It's been a while. If you've been wondering where I've been the past few months, the short answer is life happened. Like so many of you, I've found myself deep in the reality of what many people call the sandwich generation, where you're raising young kids while also helping care for aging parents. It's been a season filled with school drop offs and work deadlines and family responsibilities, major life transitions, and just things that come up with trying to show up for the people who need you. And honestly, for a while, I just felt really disconnected from this podcast and from the research and the conversations and exploration that I love so much. But something interesting happened during that time. I've spent years studying consciousness and spirituality, intuition, meditation, mindsight, human potential. And I love learning about the mysteries of life and the possibilities that exist beyond what we've been taught. But this season reminded me of something I think I needed to learn in a deeper way. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is simply love the people right in front of you. Sometimes it's that easy. Sometimes it's the people you adore, the people who love you back, the people who make you feel seen and appreciated. But sometimes the work looks a little different than that. Sometimes life asks us to show up for people when the relationship is complicated. Sometimes we're called to act from compassion instead of convenience. And sometimes we're asked to care for someone not because it's easy, rewarding, or even reciprocated, but because it's the right thing to do. And I've come to believe that's part of the practice too. Not the glamorous part, not the part that ends up in a book or on social media. It's the real part. The everyday opportunities to choose love, patience, forgiveness, responsibility, and even grace. So, yes, I believe in making time for silence and meditation, reflection, expanding our understanding of ourselves and reality. But if you're in a season where life feels a little too busy to read every book or listen to every podcast or take a class or chase every spiritual experience, I want you to know the life you're living is the practice. Showing up is the practice. Loving people when it's easy is the practice, but loving people when it's hard is the practice. So keep your heart open when life would rather have you close it, because that's the practice. Um, I just have to have faith, and I hope you do too, that the growth is happening even when it doesn't look the way you thought it would. And with that, I am really excited to be back because today's episode is part 2 of my conversation with Dr. Brooke Soto. When we talked last, she gave us her insight into Mindsight, and now this one is sort of a part 2 of what she's learned since she started her courses and classes for Mindsight. So she is a doctor of natural medicine and the founder of Quanta Bliss. Her work focuses on mindsight training, intuitive development, and helping people explore the incredible capacities of human consciousness. But in this conversation, we go a little bit deeper than we did the first time around because she shares what she's learned from training children in mindsight remotely and why kids seem to access these abilities so naturally. We talk about intuition, belief, and the role of the analytical mind, how maybe mindsight is kind of like remote viewing, sort of like telepathy. And she gives us insight into what she calls, and other people call, dermal activation. It's the theory that adults may initially access mindsight through sensory receptors in the skin before developing the broader perception. We talk about the changes she's witnessed in children and adults as they learn to trust themselves and move beyond what they thought was possible. Then something really extraordinary happens and special. Brooke is joined by her son, Robbie. And Robbie is an autistic preteen who is a non-speaker who communicates through spelling. So during our conversation, Brooke and Robbie demonstrate what they describe as a telepathic communication and a shared consciousness in real time. So whether you're completely convinced, deeply skeptical, or somewhere in between, I think you'll find it fascinating. Because so much of this episode involves visual demonstrations, I highly recommend watching the video version if you can. You'll get to see Robbie's spelling demonstrations and Brooke's Mindsight demos and the interactions we're discussing firsthand. If you're listening on audio, though, don't worry. The video version is available on YouTube, Spotify, and I'm working on trying to get it to Apple Podcasts. But one more thing before we jump in. I will be attending the Side Games in Charlotte at the end of July. So if you're there, I'd love to meet you. Please come and say hi. And if you've been enjoying the podcast, would you do me a favor? Please subscribe, especially on YouTube. I'm getting very close to my first big milestone over there. And every subscription, like, comment, and share really helps this community continue to grow. And I appreciate your support more than you know. Okay, welcome back. And let's get into my conversation with Dr. Brooke Soto.
The adult mind is just conditioned. So, they're seeing this from their conditioning, from their perspective. And obviously, my job as an instructor is to educate. But unfortunately, people will always have free will, and that is fortunate. It's not unfortunate. The unfortunate part is that I cannot make people make that
Yeah,
decision.
that's not your
If
job.
they're going to stay limited, if they're going to stay boxed in, if they're going to stay in their current belief system, that's the reality for them. So it is hard when I get those comments. They're so skeptical. I'm just like, really? Is this all you have to do today?
I know. I know. Well, and as someone who's been practicing, I have my own skepticism. But then when I watch your videos and people are seeing behind their heads, how do you, I mean, and they are people that have paid you money to teach them. So it's not like they have any dog in the fight to cheat. Like they want to
Right.
do this. That's what to
Yeah,
me,
I mean,
I'm like,
it does. I think seeing demonstrations continues to help adults for sure to, really just realize, wow, this is possible. Like,
mhm,
how are they doing that? Because our analytical mind is always going to question. It's always going to be like, how did they
right.
cheat? Did they move their mask? Did they let the light in? Like
Yeah.
all this stuff, right? But at the end of the day, I do see that the more that people participate and try it and just really just, I say it all the time, but release that analysis part. If you can just soften that, if you can just, when those questions come up, if you can just say, hey, I acknowledge I have these questions, but I'm going to keep trusting this process. I say it all the time, but if you tell Mindsight, show me what I can do,
Mm,
it will do that. It will show you how unlimited you truly are. Something will happen. You will see behind your head. You will see out of your ear. You'll see out of the top of your head. All these miraculous things will happen for you. But if you stay there where you're questioning it and you're like, am I doing it right? Is this even real? Have I found a way to cheat? Those things slow you down. Those things keep you in that left brain and that analysis. I call it analysis paralysis
mhm.
because you just keep going back through the analysis and it just keeps hindering your process. But if you just release it, then yes, it will continue to grow and it'll blow you away. It'll blow you away. So,
When you talk about it being a spiritual journey, I think it's something that you can't even pinpoint what that means for people because it's so unique to each individual. But you're hitting the nail on the head when you say, like, when you're stuck in that analysis, like, why? So for me,
yeah.
I have a fear of being looked at like I'm stupid or fear of my
Okay.
own self for judging myself that I'm stupid and that I'm believing something like I'm being gullible or that
Yes.
yeah, especially in this world, it's easy to feel like there's charlatans out there, and sure, there may be, but,
Mhm.
it's more fun to believe, so why not release that?
It
And then
is, and, that's where the miracles will always happen,
mhm,
is when you believe. That's been written in many testaments
that's
from the
right.
beginning of history. If you just believe, and it seems so easy. It seems like, well, that can't be it. That can't be the key, but
Mhm.
I truly think it is.
And how
If
many
you can.
miracles have you witnessed? I mean, you've been so we talked, and I haven't looked at how long ago it was, but at least 6 months you've really been flourishing with this, and, I mean, you brought in a whole kids, and parent class, you finished that trial.
Yes,
Can you tell
that
me
has
about
been
some of the
amazing.
miracles that you've seen and what's come
Yes.
about?
Yeah, so early in January, I made a decision to take a chance and start training children remotely. So for the last 3 years, I have trained children, but it's always been in person. And it's been a little bit different. The parent has been in the support role, but it's been more of just like a homework role with the child. So I knew if I transitioned this to a remote training that the parent would be very active in the session, that the parent would be in the whole session, right?
Mhm.
So there was, this hesitancy with me. I was like, "Wow, is this gonna work? How's this gonna go?" I'd never trained any children online. So I started a pilot program. We started in March. In February, I sent it out there and I gathered many families. I actually had 12 families come through the program from March, April, and we had a few come into May. And Kelly, every single child opened their Mindsight, every child,
Incredible.
and most of them opened in the first session.
Mm.
Some of them were the second session, but most of them opened this real-time Mindsight, this ability to see without their physical eyes in their first session remotely. I was blown away. I mean, these were far above and beyond what I have even seen with in-person training for children. So I was just it
Hmm.
was miraculous. It was amazing. And I think a lot of different reasons could go into why was this so successful. Um, I think the parents being part of it actually helped.
Mhm.
At first I did have a little hesitancy with it because what we do typically with a child training program when they are coming to you in person is the parent is not even in the session until the child is seeing, okay, without their eyes. And it makes sense because sometimes children have that performance anxiety, right? If a
Mhm.
parent
Mhm.
is there, they may feel like, "Oh, I really got to do this. Mom's here. Mom expects this." Expectations, that type of typical anxiety that kids could have. So I that was the thing that kind of held me back from it. But I just trusted, in my divine guidance, of course, and what I did was I had a parent orientation, and I still do. So, any parent that wants to participate in the program with their child goes through a parent orientation where I send them videos and they get to send me any questions they have. They also get several PDFs. So, they're very educated on this process and they're very educated about their supporting role. And so,
Mm.
they really understand, hey, this is what I need to do, to help my child have the best results to achieve their Mindsight. And it has been amazing. All of the parents that I have worked with have just done incredible jobs being supportive. And I'll tell you, there's three things that I really tell these parents. And I'm like, if you can do these three things, you and your child are going to have a very successful program. And that is, we always give the children a command. So when they're practicing, we always say, "Tell me a color, show me a color, point to the color." So this is very NLP, neuro linguistic programming type language. So we're shaping that belief and keeping them in that right creative mind. So I say, You've got to give commands. Don't ask any questions, okay? Because when you ask a question, you then go to that left brain. And so, what we really want to do is stay in that right creative mind. So, that's the number one. You got to give a command: tell me, show me, point to, move it here, any command. And I give them a list of commands. Secondly, is that they need to praise them. No matter what happens, no matter if they're completely wrong. Again, this is part of that NLP training. Praise your child. So they may say it's blue and it's actually red. You say, "You're doing amazing. Let's keep going. Tell me another color." So I hold another color. The child will say another color, maybe the wrong color again. And I'll again say, "Great job. Let's keep going. We're trying more colors. Tell me a new color." So we just keep moving with praise and commands. And the final thing is actually that you move quickly, okay? Because you don't want them to have one, children lose their attention span. We know this, right? Their attention span is a lot more limited than most adults. So we
Mhm.
want to move quickly. We want to keep it fun. But when we are moving quickly, we are truly not even letting that left brain come in at all. We are staying in that right side, in that creative, intuitive mind. So that's it. They need to give commands, praise, and move quickly. And I'm telling you, every single time we do it, it works. They're doing it at home with the homework, with the follow up practice sessions. It's been miraculous. Yes, it's been amazing. You know, kids are kids are literally seeing within 5 minutes. I do an activation process in the session, and then about 2 or 3 minutes after the activation, they're seeing, and it's amazing. It's been unbelievable. I've had many moms be like, "Is it really this easy?"
Well, and I'm sure the parents have jumped in and they're starting to see too. I mean, some, maybe not all 12,
Yes,
but
yes,
yeah.
actually, that has also been something that's been really awesome, is I have seen many of the parents, you know, of course, want to pursue it themselves. I've had several of them come to my immersive workshops, and they've opened their own mind site, which is so great. I just think it's just so powerful when both the parents and the children are doing the process. I just recently had a new family start, and the mom and the dad have been in the session together, and I love it. I love it. It's amazing. Most of the time, it's one parent that's there,
Mhm.
but it has been really great to see both mom and dad so supportive. And this little boy, of course, opened, and he was fast. It was super fast in his first session. So, yeah, it's been incredible. And he's
And it
reading. You know, they're
oh my gosh.
reading. I'm on the Zoom, you know, holding up books and they're reading books, and it's just amazing. It's been so cool. Yeah.
And talking about naysayers, if anybody wants to order a Mindsight mask, put it on and tell me if you can read. And how are you going to read through that foam? Like
Yes.
to me, that ultimately, when you put a mask on, I can see colors with the light. And then, yes, my brain kicks in and says the light's reflecting off the board and I can see it through the foam. And maybe that's true or not, but it doesn't matter. I'm not being able to read it. So when my window's open, that's how I know it's real and I'm not,
Yeah.
there's just no way to see through the foam or see under the mask and read. There's no
Yeah.
way for it. But then, I love your phrase. You got to get through the foam. You got to get through the mask. It's all a part of
Yes.
the
Well, those
journey.
mindfold, you know, the mindfold mask. So
Hmm.
this is my
You're
fancy mindfold.
custom. I love it.
Yes, I love it. It's so pretty and purple. Um, but yes, so this is a mindfold. It has a lot of foam, you know? So it's I get excited. The adults get really caught up on this. They
Yes.
say, I'm just seeing foam. I see all this foam, or I found a hole in the foam, but I loved what you said. Like, well, could you read a book? Could you
Yep.
read a
No.
novel? And
Heck
I
no.
always tell them, remember this.
Mm,
Remember this moment because this will change. And that's how mindsight is. It's always changing, it's always shifting, it's developing, especially if you lean into it and trust it, it's going to expand, it's going to get so big that you can't explain it anymore.
mhm.
In the beginning, absolutely that left brain, if we're talking about adults, that left mind, that analytical side of us is so developed, and that's really what this is about. It's about getting through that process. It's about shifting from your survival protective ego into your creative divine
Mhm.
guidance, into the right side. So if you can learn to relax and trust, I mean, all these words sound so simple and we take
Yeah.
them for
So
granted.
hard.
Trust the process, believe in the process. But that's truly it. If you can release that left analysis and trust and believe, you will have the big aha moment. You will have the big shift.
Find a kid. Grab a kid. Then just teach them. And then you immediately, when you watch what they do and how they accept and how they open, that immediately will help
It
with that left
does
brain.
help. You are so
Mhm.
right. You are so right, and I know your kids do this now, right?
Well, one of them can see the colors, the other one was reading, and then it's like
Uh-huh.
anything else, she just gets, wrapped up. It's crazy
Bored.
to me. It is wild, right? If I could do this, I would do it all the time, every day, and she just got a hoverboard for her birthday, and so I feel like
Oh.
the carrot is gonna be, "Let's practice and let's see, you'll get so good you can ride the hoverboard with your mask on," and, like, she's gonna
Yeah,
love
I
that
mean, they
smiling.
truly can. So I would
Mhm.
start with a little bit more simple a sport
Well,
than the
for
hoverboard.
sure, well, I've got videos of her doing back walkovers, front like, all her
In
gymnastics.
the mask?
Yes.
Are you serious?
So she
Girl,
can do it,
that's
but she's kinda like,
amazing.
"Meh," and then she quit practicing, and then it's like it takes a little bit more active she kinda has to
It's
reactivate now.
always there though. It's
Yeah.
always there. And that's for all of us, you know. It's truly an innate ability that we all have. We're just not aware. We've not been told. You know, we've been very, very conditioned and we've been told that you see with your physical eyes. That's it. Like you're not any no one's special. No one's seen without their physical eyes. And so that's why our left brain is so conditioned, and in the beginning of this process, it really fires. It comes in with a lot. It will come in with things that I always make jokes about it, but it'll come up with stuff you're like, "Who is that? What is that
Put it
voice?"
down. Yeah.
Yes, it's like, wow, I have this side of me that's so protective and
Mm,
scared. And it's true that left side is our protector, which is good. We need it. I always say this. I'm a fan of our ego. Our
yeah,
ego is important, especially in this wild world that we live in today, right?
yeah.
We need that. We need our protector there, but we don't want that to be our default. We want to be able to go into that right side where that intuitive guidance is. And if we learn how to hear those two sides, which you will with mindsight,
Mm, mhm,
that's one of the biggest things that happens is you're like, whoa, who is this? What is this? How are these questions? All these, analysis and disbelief, and you hear it. It's trying to keep you protected. It's trying to
mm,
keep you in your comfort zone instead of trusting in the miraculous. That stuff over there cannot be explained. And
mm,
so the left side wants to just protect. But yeah, once you can calm and release and trust into the process, you will have a big shift. You really will. And it is beautiful. And I've seen it. And this is why I'm here. This is
yeah,
honestly why I'm here for this work, is because I've seen people shift their whole lives, where they understand now. You know what? I'm not going to listen to that side. I'm not going to let that side be the default. I'm going to trust in my intuitive guidance and my abilities to create this life that I desire. And it
mhm,
happens. It
yeah.
happens. It's amazing.
I think that
So,
part right
yeah.
there isn't, emphasized enough. We talk about, getting there to be able to do this ability, and that's just the byproduct of the journey that you keep talking about. And what you're talking about, changing your life and listening to that other side of your brain is really what we're after, which is, and then there are people that are using their mind in telepathic ways. They're using their mind in ways of remote viewing. So ultimately, some people say this is remote viewing in real time.
It can't okay. Yes, well, to explain Mindsight a little bit more, first of all, before I even start, I will say that Mindsight is always evolving and changing,
Mhm.
and so our understanding of it is always going to continue to evolve and change. But right now, I think most instructors in the field would agree that there's 2 levels to Mindsight. One of those being intuitive perception, and then the second level being the real time mindsight, which is described described as your ability to see without your physical eyes in real time,
Mhm.
just like you see right now. So, obviously, intuitive perception is going to be more like remote viewing.
Okay.
And I see this. I actually, amazingly, I had a child yesterday that she's in a shift from real time mindsight to intuitive perception. And I see this a lot with adults too, where they go back and forth. They're seeing some things with their real time mindsight, but then they're also getting these intuitive mind's eyes, what I like to call it, where they
Mhm.
get these visuals in their mind. So the little girl, I was showing her Uno cards, and I held up a card, and she said the exact color and number of the next card. So they get this ability where they like skip. I've seen this with reading too with children. You can be holding a page and there may be words on a page that they're reading, but they're actually reading the next page. It's the coolest thing. So they're
My
having this
gosh.
ability almost like to time hop to, if you will, remote view and see into, the future part. So it's pretty cool. That's definitely something that starts to develop. All those intuitive pathways just really continue to open, especially if you trust the process.
Yeah, and then trying
Yeah.
to decipher between the 2 where you're not controlling it, but that's part of it is understanding what's coming from where and then you become magic, pure magic. I mean, really. So, I gotta tell you one crazy funny thing. My babysitter was here, and I said, "You're gonna think I'm crazy, but ask Juliet to do her mindsight. It'll be interesting to see what you think." And I explained what it was, and I was ready for her to look at
Mhm.
me like I was crazy, and she goes, "No, I remember I did that when I was a kid." She didn't skip a beat.
I've actually heard that a lot.
Mhm.
I've actually had many adults, come to me and say, I want to learn this because I remember doing this. A lot of us do come here with some remembrance, of the past and abilities that we've had. So it is very interesting, but I definitely have had many adults say that to me. They have told me that they've experienced this. I've actually hear this often, that they are going to bed at night and they were laying in their bed and all of a sudden they could see everything. And this is not with the mask, it's just their eyes are closed and they're tapping into it, which is very advanced for mindsight, but it is possible. And so they're like, I want to do it again. I know I can do it,
Mhm.
really cool.
That's cool.
So, yeah.
Well, last time we talked about Robbie, who is your nonverbal autistic son, and we're going to see if maybe he wanted to join us and talk to us a little bit about some stuff that he's got going
Yes,
on in
I
his life.
hope so.
Robbie is a bit of an inspiration for some of the stuff that you do as well. I know that Mark, your other son, wanted to be a ninja or, have ninja
Jedi.
abilities, but
Jedi.
Robbie is Jedi, sorry. Jedi, but Robbie is also an inspiration.
Yes, it's been just an amazing journey. So Robbie is my oldest and he is nonverbal. He does spell to communicate. Right now we're using a keyboard and I'll hook it up to his Bluetooth so you can hear him as he types. It's really amazing. So he's not a total open communicator yet. We still give him choices. I say that, but he is spontaneously doing some words on his own. But open communication is where they just, can sit and just spell and type sentences all
Uh-huh.
on their own. So we are working toward that. He just started spelling about a little over a year ago, but he's done miraculous. I would have to credit the Telepathy Tape podcast. Because as a mom, it's so interesting. Well, first, as a doctor of quantum medicine, I'm very aware of the consciousness and our abilities. But when I heard the Telepathy Tapes podcast, it just moved me so much for Robbie and his ability. As his mom, I knew that we always had a special connection. I never necessarily called it telepathy.
Mhm.
I just thought of it more as this motherly intuition, right? But as I started to realize, wow, this is a lot deeper. He really is very connected to me. Many of the mothers, if you've listened to the podcast, would describe it more as a shared consciousness than this telepathy word that they like to use.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but he's very, very connected to my feelings and anything I'm doing. So, what happened with the podcast when I heard it? I always knew my son was in there. I knew he was smart. I mean, you can look at Robbie and it's like I say he has this silent wisdom. You can just see it in through his eyes, into his soul, his brilliance, right? So I always knew it was there and he was very receptive. His receptive language was basically 100%. Anything we would say to him, even give him commands, he was able to do it. But he had never had any formal education. He'd only had ABA therapy. So I never really knew how much he knew, about
Mm-hmm.
spelling, especially, or words or vocabulary. And so when I heard the podcast, it just really encouraged me. I was like, "Oh my gosh, he knows everything I know. He can do this." And so as a mom, I had not had any formal teaching to teach him how to spell with the letter boards or the keyboards, but I was so motivated. I was like, "We're doing this. You can do this. I know you can do this." And if you saw our earliest videos of him spelling, I have never seen such joy in a child, in his eyes and his smile, because he knew I figured it out. He knew that I now knew what he was capable of, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
when we first started, I truly just trusted my intuition with the spelling. You could say I did a very facilitated communication style, just naturally. He's left handed. It's actually recommended that you stay on the right side for the brain when you're helping them spell.
Okay.
But I was on his left side because I felt like he's left handed. I need to be able to guide him if he needs help. And so initially I started, I would hold his wrist just a little bit. And this is when the telepathy really came in. Um, at first, like I said, I wasn't sure of his spelling abilities because he'd never had formal
Yeah.
education. And so I was spelling the words out loud. I was really just trying to get him, to hit the keys and let's practice. And and what I realized really quickly was I had started saying the letters in my head and he was still spelling. And then I was like, "Oh my gosh, I was able to say words. I was able to say sentences and he could still spell it." So he was able to take anything out of my mind and still spell it. And I was blown away, of course. And then I'm telling my husband and we're doing the whole thing where he writes something down and shows me and then
Mm.
Robbie spells it and we're just blown away. We're completely blown away. His brothers are doing it. Everybody's doing it. Robbie thinks it's hilarious. He thinks it's just
So
so
he's just
funny.
laughing. He
Uh,
just thinks y'all are
yes,
silly.
yes, and he probably if he comes in today, I think he wants to come in. Hi, Robbie. I'm so happy you wanted to be on the podcast today. Come on.
Oh,
Come on, you gotta sit in the big chair with
hey,
mama. Right there.
Robbie.
Oh, that's Miss Kelly.
Thank you for coming and hanging out with
Say
us.
hi. All right. You see him? Are you able to see him?
I am. Hey, Robbie. How you doing today?
You say
Thanks for
hi.
coming.
Oh, there's a cute smile. He's got the best smile, Kelly. So get ready.
I love it.
When he smiles, he'll light you up. All right. So I'll just explain real quick what we have.
Yeah,
So
show us how this works, Robbie.
this is his Bluetooth keyboard. So he'll
Okay.
type on this, and then we are connected to this ProLoQ app so that you can hear the feedback as he types.
Oh, okay.
Um, so let's see if you can hear it on the. All right, Robbie, can you say hi to Kelly? Y'all say hi. You ready? Hi.
H-I-N. Hen.
Hen.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, I get it.
So
No,
sometimes it will give us some weird autocorrects,
that's
but pretty
perfect.
good.
No, hey, I'm
Yeah.
so glad you're joining us. It's brave because I know you've never been on a podcast before, but we make this super easy, and I just appreciate you sharing your time with us.
Look at him over there. Thank you. You
Yeah.
want to say thank you? Can you tell her thank you? Yeah.
It is a handsome smile. She's right. I know it's easy for your mom to say, but she's right.
Yes. You want to say thank you?
T H A N K. Thank. Y O U. You. Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. You're welcome. So
All
your mom
right.
was saying that you guys share, how did you put it, Brooke? Share consciousness. I like that sometimes is a different way of telepathy. Like
I would say
sometimes,
that. And
yeah.
I will tell you, I've asked him this question before, and we'll see if he'll tell us today.
Hmm.
But we talk about telepathy, right? And so I say, Robbie, are you reading my thoughts, hearing my thoughts? Are you feeling the vibrations of my heart? And so every time I've asked him, he says, feeling the vibrations of your
Okay.
heart.
Yeah.
Because this is so much deeper than just these words in your head, right? He's on this frequency where he can tap into these vibrations easily. And that's how they get this whole picture of the person.
Hmm.
So, would you say that you are doing that, Robbie? Are you feeling the vibrations? Or are you doing reading my thoughts?
R
He's going to say reading.
E A
Really?
D I N G. Reading.
Of course, when I say something, he does the opposite. That's how this works, right? So,
I have kids. I understand how that goes.
you
But I
being
mean,
silly
that means your
today?
mom has no secrets. She can't keep a surprise from you.
Yes,
You get to
yes,
know
it's so
everything that
true.
your brothers. It's all boys, right? Or no, sister. You have a sister as well. Your brother
We
and
have
sister,
one. Yeah, the little one's a
the
girl.
little
Yeah.
one. So you get to know it. That's kind of you're like in a. It's like a special. I think it's so special that you have that with your mom.
You want to tell Kelly what you like to do?
Yeah.
K I C L. Kick. B A L L S. Balls.
Kick
Kick
ball.
balls.
I love it. Do you guys play
He
kickball?
loves his balls. Yes, he takes them everywhere. He loves to kick his balls and walk. Do you have, if you have
Yeah.
paper and you want to write a word, we can start with a word and then maybe a sentence, and we'll see if Robbie will show us. Robbie, will you show us a little of your telepathy today, please?
Do you mind if I show your mom something and then you
Y
can tell us?
E S. Yes.
Okay,
He said
cool.
yes pretty
I
quickly.
love it.
All
All
right.
right, let me
So
think of a
you just
word.
tell me when you are ready to show me, and I'll hold this up, Robbie, so you don't see the screen.
All
He's
right.
gonna laugh
I'm ready
about
when you
this, I
are.
gotta tell you. All right, go
Okay.
ahead.
Is it backwards?
All right. Now I see it. I
Okay.
see it.
All right.
Okay, Robbie. What did Miss Kelly say? What was her word? You ready? You gonna tell us?
L A N
Look at the letters, baby.
E. lab.
That's right. That was right. And I've
Keep
got
going, dude.
full
Now
body
try
feeling.
a sentence.
Okay.
Try a sentence.
Let's see. Um,
Occasionally he gets like where he'll not, that's, you'll hear me say, look for the letter, look for the word,
uh-huh.
because their eyes, one of the big things that non-speakers, they do have some disconnect from their body
Yeah.
often in their eyes. So it's hard for him to turn his eyes peripherally. So that's actually why if you see me slide the board a little bit left or right, it's to help him with his eyes, with his vision, because he mostly wants to focus directly center.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's not like you're making him push the buttons, right? You're just making it more
No, and I will
accessible.
tell you, he cannot. He cannot. He's very strong-willed. So, I have tried that at times, and he's gotten really mad at me if I
Mm.
try to make him say something. He's gotten now, as we've been doing this longer, he's to the point now where, no, if I don't want to spell it, I'm not going to spell it. So, is that right?
Okay.
Is
I've
that
got my
right?
sentence.
Okay, she got a sentence.
You ready?
Let's see. Yes. Oh, hold on. Oh, that's a good one, Robbie. All right, Mama saw. Now you tell her. What'd she say? You ready? You got it.
Y. O. U. U. A. R. E. R. S. O. So. S. M. A. R. T. Smart. You are so smart.
You, you
Great
are so
job,
smart,
Robbie.
Robbie.
That
Wow.
was so good. Good
That is
spelling.
incredible. Yes. And I mean, I know that
It's
takes a lot of
amazing.
effort. That's amazing. So,
Yeah,
I mean, can
he's
he
doing
connect
really
with
good.
other people besides your family members, or does he specifically it's people
So
he's close
right
with? And
now, he definitely can do this with his dad, but it
sorry,
is,
say it one more time. It got
normally he definitely does this with his dad also,
okay. Yeah.
but normally, they call it the communication partner is the person that's primarily spells with them, and that is usually the person that they're most connected with the telepathy also, for sure. So,
Okay.
honestly, right now, I don't think I know once he's an open speller and I'm not holding the boards at all, that he'll be able to probably do this off of anyone by himself.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
right now, since I'm his communication partner, it's almost like he's receiving it from me. So as long as I see it, no matter what it is, if I see it, he'll spell it. Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's
But
pretty
there is a
awesome.
physical component too. Like if you were at the grocery store and he was like, "Oh man, we need milk," you can't pick that up necessarily, can you? Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
it's interesting. So you were asking, I guess, about my telepathy
Are
abilities,
you
basically.
receiving from him
Um,
or vice versa? He could receive
I
from
do
you.
feel like I've gotten a lot stronger with it. Of course, I was telling you, I've always thought of it as like this motherly intuition,
Mhm.
but it's gotten really good lately, especially like at home. It's almost like I can be in my office and he's out there in his room, and I just know, like, okay, Robbie wants to eat this, and I
Mhm.
go tell who the babysitter or his dad, whoever's with him. So I feel like it has moved a lot towards that. Of course, I always still say, is it telepathy or is it just intuition? And I
Mhm.
think it's very much it overlaps that term, right?
Right, when one's acceptable. Yeah, we just accept
Yeah.
intuition, but maybe it's the same thing. Like, we don't know that it's the same thing. Like, because we don't
Yeah.
accept
So
telepathy.
Right. But, this is a good example that I think of as a mom or, any parent. We've heard so many stories where a parent and a child may not be in the same place. They could even be across the world, but maybe something traumatic would happen to the child. And at the same moment, that parent feels it. It feels the
Mhm.
energy. I mean, I've even heard stories of a mom where her child maybe was in a wreck, and at the same moment, she like hits the ground, like she's just, paralyzed to the ground. And
Mhm.
so we're so entangled with our children.
Yeah.
And so I think that is a lot of what this is, especially for me and Robbie. It's like I feel his needs and his
Mhm.
wants. And that's something I've always had to pay attention to and try to tap into because, as a little boy, he's not ever had any words. He's always been mostly a non speaker his
Mhm.
whole life.
Mhm.
And so, as his mom, I feel like I've just had to be a little bit more
Yeah.
open to receiving that energy and that intuition coming in of what he needs, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
What do you think, Robbie?
Robbie, you're
You
incredible.
think so? Yes? Is that
Or
correct?
is it just easy?
Do you like to spell? I'm gonna say no. Do you like to spell? Is it cool? Is it cool? What do you want to say? Cool? Yes? My keyboard's off. He's typing yes. Oh, yes, the keyboard went off. Sorry about that.
So it is hard, do
It's
you think?
nice having this. It's nice having the keyboard because you can.
Y-E-S.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
It's
You can
working
hear it.
again.
So do you think he's saying, "Yes, it's hard," or "Yes, he likes it,"
Is spelling hard or do you think it's cool? Hard
or
or
cool?
cool?
H.
Mm.
C. O. I. O.
This probably is not going to
L.
translate. So he's saying it's cool.
Coil.
Um, so something else that he does, which a lot of the spellers do in the beginning, I give him a choice. So what I did was I pointed to, is it hard or
Mhm.
is it cool? And it's almost like he's acknowledging that I gave him a choice. So he hit H
First to
first, but
start.
then he actually wanted to say it's cool.
Okay, so flesh
So it's
out. Cool.
almost like, how when someone asks you a question, you may repeat the question. It's very similar.
Yeah.
So it's like he's laughing. He's acknowledging that I gave him these choices, but then he's gonna spell out the one he
Okay.
wants.
Well,
Is
that's
that
cool.
correct? Is that right?
It is
Yes or
cool.
no?
Y.
Boy,
E. S.
Yes, it's cool.
Yes.
It is cool
he
to be
is
able
a
to tell
mess.
everybody what you want and what you need and your opinions.
You want mommy to write a sentence and show him that too? What do you think? Look at it. He likes it.
You're like, "Good, let's
So
do more."
yeah, I'll take a paper
Okay.
so you guys see it
Okay.
has nothing on
Uh-huh.
it. Of course, he's not seen it. Mommy, write a sentence and then you spell it. Okay. So this is really funny, and you'll watch if you watch him. I love doing this because you're going to watch him receive this.
Okay.
Because he knows as I'm writing it, he will see it. It's like he'll get it. So just pay attention to him as I write it
Okay.
because he'll laugh probably. All right, you ready? Did you get it?
Not that he's laughing.
All right. So I'm going to cover him and show
Okay.
you. Do you see that?
Yep, I do.
Okay. All right, Robbie. What did mommy say? What did I say? You going to tell us? Tell us what mommy said. It's funny, isn't it? Look at him.
Hey, I do too. But just so you know, I
You
do
see
too.
him?
Yeah.
He's laughing.
No.
You going to tell us?
I. I. L. I. K. E. like, am, why, my, f, e, e, t, feet, r, u, b, b, e, d, rubbed. I like my feet rubbed.
I get it. Me too. I do. I'll admit it.
He loves it. We call him Prince Robbie. Are you Prince Robbie? Look at him. Are you Prince Robbie? Yeah, this is how I know if he likes somebody. Somebody comes over and he likes him, he'll stick his foot out. I'm like, Robbie, that's a little forward. You just met them.
No shame in the
Look
foot
at him.
rub game, Robbie. I get it. That's great. Get it
Is
taken
that
care
fun?
of.
Look at him. Funny. Yeah.
S, I, U, N, Y,
Funny?
Fiuni.
Funny.
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 It is funny.
That was so good,
That was
Robbie.
so good. It's incredible. So when Brooke, when you have Christmas presents, y'all better put them at a
You
neighbor's
know,
house.
when he was little, I never really I kind of noticed that yes, because I always put things in closet.
Uh-huh.
And he always goes to the closet. I was like, oh, he just, kids just know that mom's going to hide it. But now it has become more obvious because, in fact, this is really funny because, as a mom, you end up buying things and you forget about
Mm.
them. So he'll come in my room and he'll be like he's looking like he knows something's there. And I'm like, there's nothing in here. And I'll say it over and over and over. And sure enough, I'll go look and then I'll find something. It's like he knows. He knows it's in there. And I don't even know because I forgot because that's what moms do. We forget. But it's so funny. Yes, he does. He does. Look at
You're
him.
the guy, Robbie, when your mom loses her keys. You've got to be like, remember, you put them over here. I remember. I can see it.
Yes,
I
I do
remember.
need to ask him. You gonna help, mommy? Help? Yes? Probably gonna say no. You gonna help me with stuff? Yes or no? No.
And, no,
How old,
no,
Robbie, how old are you?
Can you tell her how old you are? Tell her how old you are. You know. Number. Tell her your age. Can you tell her? You got it.
1, 2, 12.
12.
Yep. You're about to be a teenager. You're
12.
like, Mom, you don't need my help.
He actually has about 1 month and it's his birthday.
Oh, happy early birthday. That's exciting. You have a summer birthday. That's fun.
Yes, he's got July 1st birthday. So
Can't.
he always gets the big party.
Yeah, like a pool party or something like that. That's fun.
Yes. Do you
Yeah.
like the big birthday party? You get a party? Is that fun? What do you think? Or you just want presents?
Yeah.
Oh, he's like, I'll
He
spell
nodded.
that.
Mm-hmm.
R, D, S, E, N, G,
Look at it, baby.
S. Presents.
Presents. He'll spell presents. Yeah, so when he's typing, one of the things that he'll do, of course, it's called selective vision for him. So there's different levels of this. Global, you may have noticed kids, non-speakers that seem a little bit more disconnected may have what we call global vision. So it's almost like their eyes, everywhere their head goes, their eyes
Mm.
go. I'm sure you probably noticed this. So they may be spelling over here, like
Okay.
it can be quite challenging. Well, Robbie is more selective with it, so he wants to focus straightforward. And it takes him effort to move to the peripheral, to move the
Okay.
vision side to side. But so what I see is he'll get too quick sometimes
Uh,
when he's typing, and he may hit the key right beside the letter that he's trying to hit. But also with Robbie, I think sometimes he feels, oh, this is silly. Mom just knows what I want. Why do I
uh,
need to sit here and type? And I have heard that a lot from some of the older kids that even used to type a lot. They get to a place where they're like, you are receiving enough of what I need that I don't want to do this anymore.
mhm. 'Cause it
So
takes energy.
that could
Yeah.
possibly happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I believe he's gonna become
Mhm.
completely open. I know he'll be able to type. He's still so young,
Right.
and I'm excited that we did start this process when he was young so that he can, develop it really well, especially into being a young adult where he'll be able to, just freely sit and type his
Mhm.
thoughts and everything. I think that'll be amazing.
You're
Is
doing
that
such
gonna be awesome?
Your mom is incredible. She's doing such a great job. This is so cool. I hear your brother wrote a book, and you're gonna get to
Yes.
write the next one now that your mom knows how to publish
Yeah,
them, 'cause
Robbie. You
I'm
wanna
impressed
write a
that
book
she
one
figured
day?
that out.
You wanna write a book one day? Yes or no? You probably said
Y
Okay.
N
Oh,
O.
that's fair,
No.
though.
no. No
No,
books for
no, but
you.
he's the athlete. He
Really?
wants to play kickball. I get it. I
He
get it.
likes to be he's a soccer.
Yeah.
You like soccer? What do you think? You like soccer? Tell me. Soccer? Yes? Soccer? Yes or no?
N
Yeah, he's gonna say yes.
Y
Hmm.
E S.
Okay, here's the real question:
Lies.
Ronaldo or Messi?
What
Ronaldo
is
or
it?
Messi? Which soccer player? That's all I know are the 2
Oh,
the 2 soccer players I know.
he must know because he smiled at you.
Do
Do you
you
know
like
about these soccer
Ronaldo
players?
or Messi?
Ronaldo or Messi?
And you
M
can
E S A E Y C.
Yeah,
Messi?
yeah,
Messi?
that's great. I mean, and
Where's he from? He's really good at kicking his balls and walking with his balls, and that's what he's really into right now. He's into art too. He loves art. You still like art, right? You went to art camp. Did you have fun at art camp? Yes or no? What about that art camp? Was it fun?
Y S E S. Uses.
yeah,
Yes.
yes, yes. I saw the pictures you posted. Your painting was beautiful. I love it. It was amazing.
What are you gonna say? You say
You
thank
should
you?
keep that up.
He loves it. He loves it. We just gotta have a little bit of a controlled environment so that we don't paint the whole house.
I get it.
But yeah.
Yes.
You wanna say thank you?
T H A N
Where are you going?
K.
Come on,
Thank. Y
look for it.
O U. You. Thank you.
No, thank
He's
you, Robbie. Robbie, you are so brave and awesome to come out on your first podcast.
Thank you, Kelly.
This
He's
is
excited. He's been telling me he wanted to be on a podcast. Yeah?
And you know what? I really want
You
my
want
podcast to be more about Robbie, or where kids can listen and watch with their parents. And I think your episode is a perfect example of that, so that other kids can see what other kids are capable of and feel like not scared to be on these kind of things and put themselves out there. Because I think you being brave like
Yeah.
that is really inspirational. So it's pretty awesome.
Thank you. Did you have fun? You wanna say thank you for letting me be on the podcast? Thank you. What do you wanna say? Hmm? You wanna say bye?
E Y E. By K E L. L Y Kelly
That's
T H A N K Y O U. Thank you. Bye, Kelly. Thank you.
bye, Robbie. Thank you.
You did so
You did
good. We're good.
amazing. It's incredible. Incredible. I just keep saying it's incredible because I'm like just. And
You
again,
want to look at her?
he's gonna laugh at us because it's just easy for you, Robbie. But we
Yeah.
just think you're amazing.
You ready to go? You did good. You ready to go see Dad?
Brooke, what world do we live in?
I think he wanted to stay.
What I mean, it's just what is happening. I mean, I
Right.
know this is
And
possible.
I know it's just like mindsight, it's hard to like comprehend. You're like, wait,
Well, and then all this
wait.
stuff, mindsight, telepathy, I'm like, how are people not running into the streets, shouting off the rooftops that this is all possible? But then I think people are just kind of like, oh, I still got to go to work in the morning. Like, I wish we could figure out how to bridge the gap between like making everyone see the awe and wonder in it.
Well, I definitely think as we continue to share, we just keep sharing the message and the journey, many people are starting to
Mhm.
realize, wow, this is possible. Like all these kids, especially, I mentioned the telepathy tape
Yeah.
podcast,
Yep.
but that podcast is just, it's so powerful, to really shift your paradigm with what's possible. Especially, I love listening to the messages from the older children that are completely open and that type, alone. Like their messages are just so
Yes.
profound about these abilities. I mean, Robbie, he's just starting. He's a little baby in this,
But he's doing it.
He's just beginning.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. He's doing amazing. And we haven't talked about this, but I will just tell you, and I could have asked him, but I know that he can see through my eyes. And
Mm.
so maybe that is part of like that remote viewing
Oh.
ability, like because many of the kids, even in the telepathy tapes, talk about, their parent, they're at school and they come back and they tell their mom, oh, you went to the grocery store and you bought me this. Where is it? It's like they know everything the mother did that day, right?
Mhm.
Well, the way that I realized it with him was through the spelling because I started to notice, I know I spoke about when I would say the letters in my head, he was able to spell them. But what I really started to notice was when I would look at the letters, he could spell them.
Mhm.
So it was like, and I have asked him and he has said yes. Like, can you? So it's like that shared consciousness, and I'll tell you this too. If I'm relaxed, if I'm composed, coherent in this good space and energy, our abilities are just so much clearer and connected versus if I'm dysregulated and
Yeah.
intense and this goes with normal neurotypical children too. Our kids pick up our energies, right? And so when we're spelling, Robbie and I, if I'm, very relaxed, coherent, he is on it. He can just do amazingly. So it's very, very interesting. And I know it's just going to keep developing as he keeps going.
Oh, yeah. It's so much
Yeah.
to think about. I mean, on one hand, because if it does, and it does work both ways of talking about it's like a little bit of pressure because you're human and you're going to have days and you want to make sure you're regulated so that he is. But there's times that, you have big emotions too. Or when he has his big emotions that you don't take it on too much of on you because you're so connected. Like
Oh,
that's
it
hard.
does. Oh, absolutely. It definitely goes both ways.
Hmm.
So if he's having a rough time, I'm like,
Yeah.
and then if I am, I know he feels it, feels into it. I mean, oh man, this is something that's been just really interesting with him. So something we noticed with his siblings for the
Mm.
longest time, especially his brother Waylon. I don't know what the connection was there because there's four children in
Mhm.
our family. But for some reason, Robbie had like this intense connection with Waylon and Waylon's emotions. And Waylon could be outside, and Robbie could have been upstairs in his room playing. And Waylon, something happened to Waylon, or Waylon just got upset and started screaming and crying. It was like clockwork. Robbie would then do it. It was crazy. At first, we're like, "Oh, coincidence," but it was like out Robbie had no reason to be upset. It was like they were so entangled that every time something would happen to his brother, he would respond. It got so crazy that we poor Waylon, we got to the point where like, "Waylon, do not cry. Do not get up."
Poor guy's gonna have a
He's like
complex. Yeah.
he's like 4 years old, and we're telling him, "Do not have any emotions because your brother will do it."
We're having a day. We just all need to hit the reset button. That's our big mantra sometimes. Like, yeah, because
Yes.
I had a hard time, especially when my kids were babies, regulating myself with their big emotions. And that's the work, right? You learn, hold on, they're not gonna be able to regulate if I can't regulate. It's just a whole cycle. It's a journey. We keep using that word.
Yes, it's so true.
Wow.
But
Oh my
that
gosh. Well, all right. Here's one real random question that came to my mind. Now, I know spatially he's got different things going on. Is he able to do mindsight? Is he interested in mindsight at all, Robbie?
So I have not tried
Yeah.
Mindsight with Robbie. All my other children do it, of course. And the one thing that, two things that have kind of held me back with him. One is honestly, I felt it was silly
Mm,
because for him, I know he has these abilities. I know his abilities are so great and so much higher than the average,
yeah.
human.
Yeah.
And so I just felt like, what's the point? Like
Hmm.
I just told you, I know Robbie can see through my eyes. If Robbie can see through my eyes, like, do we not think Robbie can probably close his eyes and see anytime he wants? Like, so the second reason, and this is, when I work with individuals that come to me and they're interested in helping children that have special needs, I believe as long as they don't have a high sensory
Right.
processing disorder, that it's possible. But Robbie has always had sensory processing, meaning that, clothes,
Hmm.
different things that you put on him, he would just tear them off. They would irritate him. And so to me, I was like, well, why would I try to put a mask on him? He's going to go
Yeah.
crazy,
Yeah.
But now you saw him, he's actually very composed.
Hmm.
He's getting older and he's very calm. That's why I said he's like has that silent brilliance.
Hmm.
But I am interested in trying it with him. He does not obviously speak verbally, so it would be cool though because I bet he could still spell the same.
Hmm.
And so yeah, I'm going to get to it. I haven't he may throw the mask off though. We'll see.
Yeah.
I may put the mask on him. He may laugh at me and throw it across the room. Very likely.
The coolest thing
But I
is
will.
he can tell you now if whether he can
Yes.
consent to it. That's what I think's pretty
Yes.
awesome. Yeah.
But I will tell you, and this is the beauty of also teaching children that have disabilities with mindsight. It's one of the greatest things that we see through this process is we see improvements in disabilities.
Mm,
So whether they're ADHD, ADD, have these severe attention deficits, huge improvement in their ability to concentrate. And we do believe that a lot of this is accredited to we're working on both the left side and the right side simultaneously of this brain. And so they are learning how to focus better. I mean, I can tell you some amazing stories where I've seen kids that have came to me just for 4 sessions. And the first session, they're bouncing all around. They're doing backflips on their bed. Their moms can hardly keep them in the chair to do the mind sight. They're negotiating with me. They're like, all right, I'll put the mask on. I'll do 3 colors. Then I'm going to go do a backflip and come back. And then by the last session, I am like, what? They're like a totally different kid. They're sitting there, they're composed. I told one mother, I was like, it's like he matured 3 years. Like, I don't even know. And if I said this, but I was like, if I didn't know better, I would think some of them had got medicated. But I knew they had not.
Yeah.
I knew they had not. I knew their mothers were very holistic and did not choose that path for them. But that is how different it was. It was like, what? I'm sitting here looking at this kid like, is this even the same kid? You know? And I noticed that even in my own children. They don't have ADD, attention
Mhm.
deficit, but they are able to focus. It's amazing. And I think a lot of it is because we do the work, we do the training with the Mindsight. But reading delays is a big one that we see improvement with.
Mm.
Gosh, I've got many stories of children that come to me. They're maybe 2 to 3 grades below in reading. And by the end of the program, they want to go to the library. Their moms don't know what to think. They're like, they want to read. This is crazy, and they're reading better. I even see it through the sessions. It's incredible. So there's many things. So when someone asks me, is Mindsight for, special
Mm.
needs? Is this something autistic kids can do? I say yes, as long as they are willing and they want to learn it, right?
Yeah.
So Robbie, back to my son, if I feel like his sensory processing is not severe enough where he will not wear the mask and all those things, then yes, I absolutely want to do it because I know he can do it. And
Mhm.
that's the thing with kids, I've told you, but they just pop into this so quickly. So many of them, I know from your own kids and your experience, it's just miraculous. They just do it. It's like they're so connected to those gifts. They're still so young. They haven't been conditioned like us adults. That left brain is not as developed, and especially with the younger children, it's just not developed at all.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so they're so open. They're so imaginative. They're creative. They're just really receptive and excited. And so they do it. They do it so easily. They do it so naturally. And I love if the kids start young because it's something I believe they're always going to take with them.
I think
They're
that's
going to
cool.
remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that whole bicycle piece of it, like remembering it, like riding a bike is important. So my 7-year-old she was 7 when she started, and she's our complaints about her are that, the room is always messy. She's always living in the moment where if you ask her to do something, she's busy doing what she's doing and she's not gonna, make the bed or whatever, right? But I'm thinking every
Uh-huh.
time I complain about that she's not conscientious or whatever, I'm like, man, what a life she gets to live, that she's just so in this moment. But now she's been keeping her room clean. She just turned 8. Like all these
Oh,
things, and
yeah.
I'm like, oh no, but don't lose that living in the moment asset that is to your life. So hopefully, again, starting now.
You're the only mom I know, Kelly, that wants to let her daughter have a messy room.
But then, right? Because I'm thinking about the parts of her brain that are
That
taking
is
over.
true.
But
Yeah.
it's important to have both.
I noticed that. I noticed that with Mark.
Mm,
He turned 10 this year and he got real meticulous about the room.
mhm.
And so much so that he wanted a lock. He
Especially if
wanted
he
to
has
lock
3
his door
siblings.
when he went to school because he didn't want little siblings in there tearing up his
Yep.
stuff and messing up his room. He come back, the bed was messed up, he go crazy.
Yep.
I'm like, oh
I mean,
my
we've
gosh.
been the same way. We have friends that have little kids, and the Lego sets are on the you have your stuff, and you want it how you want it. I get it. But it's
Yes.
and it's all good. All these things are good, and they're way they're supposed to be, but, it's sort of like that brain entrainment. What you're doing is you're balancing the right and the left with, these exercises. It's what it seems to me.
Yes.
I'm not an expert.
Yes, it is. And it really sets them up to being the top performers.
Mm.
Top performers in, education, top performers in society as they grow up, because they've got that really developed left side, but they've also got this really creative, intuitive mind, right? And so they're just able to tap into all these abilities and create, and it's just incredible. So, and speaking of that, you mentioned it, but my 10-year-old wrote a book,
That's
you
what 2
know?
things I wanna talk about is the 10-year-old writing the book, and I don't want you to get away without I wanna talk more about what you've discovered about dermal activation. before we go? Because to me,
Yeah.
that's something new since the last time we talked that you've kind of got a little more
Okay.
experience in. But
Yep.
let's talk about Mark's book.
So Mark is my 10-year-old. He just wrote a book. It's called Aliens Out of Earth. And if I had thought about it, I would have brought it in here to show you. Um, but he is the reason that I started all this mindsight training. He was the little guy that wanted to be the Jedi. And, he saw Superhuman documentary. He saw all these kids doing mindsight, reading books and playing sports. And he's like, wow, this is like Jedi, Mom. I want to do this. So that's what set me on the journey, of course, to try to find a teacher for him. And when I didn't find a teacher, that's when I decided, okay, I'm going to learn this myself. And that was the beginning of our journey. He was the one that I taught first. So he learned when he was, gosh, 7, almost 8, I believe. And yes, this year he just turned 10. He's been doing Mindsight for about 2.5 years. And over spring break, just spontaneously out of nowhere, he said that he wanted to write a book. And at first I was like, oh, that's cool. And I mean, he pumped this book out in about 2 weeks. I tell him, I'm like, that was like channeled. Like, where
Mm,
did that come from? And me as the mom, I'm reading it. I'm like, there's gotta be secrets in here. There's gotta be cool things in
oh,
here. And it is a very neat book. Um, it's about 2 alien planets, and the aliens invade Earth and this family has to help, defeat the bad alien planet. But it's so full of just adventure, and it's very humorous, it's funny. But when he first wrote it, it was so interesting because he truly wrote it like a movie script.
mm,
It was like complete dialogue. And I told my husband, I said, I've never seen that from a little child. I said, if I was going to write a book, I would have sat down and just wrote paragraphs. Like there would have been probably zero dialogue.
mhm,
Okay. And I'm telling you, he wrote 120 pages of characters with dialogue in 2 weeks. It was amazing. And so much so that I told him, I was like, Mark, we're going to have to put a few paragraphs in here because this is like a movie.
mm,
And it's funny enough, he says he wants to be an actor. I was like, if this was a movie, it's ready. I said, but when people read a book, they might need a little more context. So we had to go back in, add a couple paragraphs, but he's also very meticulous about editing. He doesn't want anything changed. He wants everything to be exactly the way he wrote it, which I love that. So he oversaw everything. The book is very much his complete original creation. It's amazing. He even drew characters, so he did the illustration. So that's really cool. But yeah, if anyone's interested, it's on Amazon. It's called Aliens Out of Earth. And yeah, he's 10 years old, and that was his first
love
novel.
it.
So it's super
We will
cool.
definitely support him and put a link in the show notes to it. And just, I mean,
Yeah, it's
how
great. It's really cool.
talk
I'm
about it
really
being
proud of
channeled.
him.
What if it's instead of channeled, it's a prediction? We'll see.
Right? Well, that's what I told him. I was like, Mark, I was like, is this imaginative
Yeah.
or is this really real? I mean, are these planets really out there?
I mean,
I
your
don't know.
kids are so gifted. They could be he could be a prophet telling us something, but hopefully
I
it
don't
has a
know.
happy ending. We'll see.
I'm telling you, I did find it
Yeah.
very interesting that all of that just was like, it was like downloaded to him so quickly. And he just wrote and he wrote and he wrote and he wrote. And I was like, okay. And so, as a mom, of course, and now I will tell you, it was his idea. He wanted this book published. He wanted it done. He wanted to publish it. He wanted to illustrate it. I mean, when I tell you he oversaw the project, he oversaw the project. And I make jokes. I'm like, I never thought my 10-year-old would write a book before me.
There you go. But again, I
But
wanted an episode that kids could listen with their parents, and this needs to kids. If you have an idea, do it. There's nobody stopping you.
yes.
I mean, We have all
Yes,
the
and
tools now.
people really do love young authors.
Mhm.
They're so creative
Yeah,
and they're funny. He's so funny. He's got so much humor in this book.
I
It's
love it.
truly great.
Well, thank you for telling us all about that. We'll have to, for sure, I'm gonna check it out. I think that's incredible. I wanna
Yeah.
Okay, tell us a little bit more about dermal activation before I let you go, because I'm fascinated in, again, if we wanna have our left brain try to talk to us a little bit, we're like, "Well, if we're not seeing with our eyes, how are we seeing? And if it is through the
Yes.
skin, what does that mean?"
Yes. So if you look up this term, dermal activation or extraocular vision, these are two terms that have been actually researched throughout history. Okay. It's funny because most of us are not aware of this, just like we talk about mindsight. Many people are like, what is that? And then when you say it's seeing without your eyes, they're like, yeah, right. How is that a thing? Right. But if you actually go on a little bit of a journey and you start to try to look into research and history, I think you'll be shocked at how much is actually out there. I've recently did a free workshop where I covered some of the studies that I had looked into, some research that started as early as the 1920s with people recognizing, being able to read with their fingertips using these skin receptors. Okay. So, simply put, dermal activation is just as it sounds. It's activating this ability to see through your skin receptors. Okay. So, we know that adults, especially when they begin mindsight, they're very into that left brain also. The left brain is very active for us adults, it's very fully developed. And when we do mindsight, we do it in a very conscious state. And because we are in a conscious state, our left brain is with us, okay? It's very much in the game. And so it's trying to figure out what is going on. How is this possible? So, this dermal activation is typically where most adults start with this process. And that is where they start to activate most often through the nose area, right through here, between the eyes, under the eyes. And the reason that I think it happens there is because the left brain is most accepting to us seeing in a place that is most close to our physical eyes. It's like, okay, if you're going to see without your eyes, then it's going to be right there. It's going to be in the front also. Now, cool thing about kids, we could talk about kids so much because they do this process very differently, okay? But their ability can show up in many different spots immediately. But mostly for us adults, we see it through here. Now, when this happens, that is when the adult mind goes crazy. It goes absolutely crazy because it thinks, oh, the light is getting in. Well, just to talk about the light a little bit. So, I do recommend when you're practicing mindsight initially, you have a mask, obviously, and you move this light as an adult. Now, here's a fun fact. I've never trained one child with a light.
Mm,
They don't need it because they don't go through the same process as us, okay? They're more into that right brain. We are very much on the left side to begin this process. So when we shine this light, whether it is a flashlight or it is natural sunlight, it is going to activate these skin receptors, okay? And so as these skin receptors are being activated, we're opening what we call these windows where they start to open and we start to be able to see. At first, you're just going to perceive light, shadows, movement. Then you're going to start to see the colors. And then if you keep going, you're going to get those little openings where you start to see the room just like you see the room right now. Now, the cool thing about, this process, like I say, is if you keep going, you will shift. You will shift from this physical dermal activation process into this right creative side. And when that happens, that's when you're going to start to see more abilities happen with Mindsight. You're going to get windows that get really big and connect, and you can't explain it anymore. Or you're going to get one over here on the side of your head, even behind your head, right? You're going to have all of these things start to happen. So, obviously, if you're seeing out of the back of your head, that's not dermal activation anymore. Now we're switching into a deeper part of this process, into more of that spiritual connection that we see so often with children initially, because children are so connected to their highest self, their higher consciousness. They're very much in that right brain, into that intuitive, creative mind. So when they do this process, like I said, we don't use the light. They don't need it. Within minutes, they just connect. They connect right back to that ability. They're wearing their masks. They're like, oh, I see you. I see everything. So it's a very interesting, beautiful process. But yes, initially, especially as an adult, I always recommend starting with the light, using a small flashlight, or even just natural sunlight on your face is going to help advance this ability quickly and open these windows to see. Now, with all this light, coming and talking about light, I just want to mention this for adults, because so often, I know we've talked about this, but initially adults get really caught up on, well, is the light just coming in? The light's coming in, and that's how I'm seeing. There's a hole, and I'm seeing through this hole, right? So I always say this, but you have to remember, is that light coming in, or is your light turning on? And if you can switch your belief into, my light is turning on, my light is activating, that is when Mindsight will show you you're unlimited. There will be things then that will happen. Your windows will expand, they will grow. They won't be just these little bitty spots where you can barely see a color. They will be so big you can sit there and read a book. Okay. So when that happens, then finally that left side, that analytical mind, will finally calm down. It'll be like, okay, you've done too much now. I can't explain this anymore. So I'll just be quiet. But until that happens, you're going to be on a journey.
Mhm.
You're going to be on a journey with that left side, and it's going to keep coming in. It's going to keep telling you things, asking you questions. And if you could just, release, I say that a lot, but just release the analysis. Don't let it keep coming in. Just say, I got this. I'm trusting this process. And that's when the miraculous will definitely happen.
Love it. That's a perfect way to sum it all up. That is when the miraculous will
Yeah.
happen. Thank you for spending so much time with me today and bringing Robbie on. I mean, this was such a special time, so I really, really appreciate
You're
you. Yeah.
welcome. And I don't know, we didn't talk about it, but if you want me
Yeah.
to, I'm happy to do a little
Oh,
demo.
we can. And the only reason I didn't think about it is because we did it the first time. But I love a demo. Let's not end yet.
Yeah,
I also
I
didn't want
know.
to take too
People
much of
like
your
it though. You know
time,
how that
though.
is.
If you got the time, let's do it.
Oh, we can do it fast. So
Okay.
I have a mindfold. I'll just go ahead and put this on. This is 100% blackout. For anybody that's not familiar. So this is a light, obviously a flashlight, and you can see when I hold it here, it does not, oh, there's a strap in the way. Let's see. It does not come through that mask. Y'all see that? So here it
Yep.
is.
Love it.
See that?
Mm-hmm.
Just showing everyone,
I
because
think that's
if
great.
you've never done Mindsight, it
Mm-hmm.
is new, it is interesting. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put the mask on. So once I put the mask on, initially I have two windows, okay? So I have a little window here that's opening, and then I have another one over here. So as I sit here, these windows are going to keep getting bigger, keep expanding. But what I'll just do quickly, I have some Zenner cards. So I'll just mix them all up. Just a minute. And I am looking toward my computer. So these are wavy lines, plus sign, circle, star, circle, wavy line, plus. star and another star. So
Child's
that was
play.
a little do what?
Child's play.
So as I'm sitting here though, it's getting bigger.
Okay.
So that's what happens. It keeps getting bigger. So these are shape cards, and I think are they upside down? No.
They're
Maybe.
good. No, you're
I'm
good.
gonna mix. They're good. I'm
Mhm.
gonna mix these all up. Again, just do a couple. So I have a green rectangle, a green triangle, a purple oval, an orange triangle, a yellow triangle, and an orange rhombus. So, Kelly, write out a sentence. I could read it
Yeah, I hear you. Let's see. I'm gonna
or
say,
anything.
let me see. Gotta find a little spot on my paper. How
She's
about?
got too many notes.
Sorry, I've been taking notes. I've been taking note. Oh, you know what? My kids brought me a note in the middle of our thing. I'll use the back of their card.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
let's say we're gonna do. All right. Again, I hope it's not backwards.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Amazing. Kelly, that was too easy.
Well, I don't know. It was a backwards word on my screen. Just the fact that you
Was
could read it.
it? No, that was easy. That was easy.
No, tell people though, because
So
when you move your face and you make this, like the smile, it looks, people will say, oh, well,
it
they're looking
does help.
underneath. Yeah, but you have to
It
explain it
does.
because
So
I guess Dahlia went on Danny Jones, and all these people are like these big podcasters now are saying, oh, that woman, she was peeking in her mask. And it's like they didn't
oh goodness.
understand. I know.
Girl, but here, we kind of talked about this a little bit, but your perception is your reality. Like I try, it does. Sometimes it still does get to me when I get really, really skeptical comments come in. But then I remember, like, that is where they are with their beliefs. And it doesn't matter what I say. Like, no matter what I say is going to shift that. Right. I think experiencing it is
That's it.
probably the best way
Yeah.
to move through that paradigm with your belief system. But I will show you. I have eye patches, so I can put these on and I can read if I have a book. Let's see. Uh, or I do have a bunch of animal cards and we'll do some. I'll do something. Or if you have anything, you can write a sentence this time.
Okay. Okay.
um, but yeah, so when you first start Mindsight, you got to remember there is this physical part to this. Your eyes as an adult. I say this all the time because I get this question a lot. They'll say, well, do I have to keep my eyes open or can I close my eyes? So the answer is yes, you can close your eyes and do this, but that is going to be very advanced. Okay. But as you keep doing it, funny enough, once I put these patches on and I put this mask on, if I start reading, very soon after I'm reading like a book, my physical eyes check out. Like I don't know what they're doing. I can't tell anymore,
Mhm.
okay? But when you first start this process, especially in the very beginning, you may feel like you need to squint or you may feel like you need to smile. And honestly, if you just trust it and you keep going, you will get to the place where you can just relax into it. You don't have to do that. So, for instance, when I put this mask on, my windows are there. I can make absolutely no expressions and they are there. But when I smile, yes, they're bigger. They start to open and expand. And I think it's for two reasons. I think one, yes, we know there's this physical dermal process going on. But two, when you smile, you raise your frequency, you raise your vibration. And to be able to step into this right side, into this really creative part of this process, you've got to be on another frequency. Okay. Like kids,
Mhm.
kids vibrate high. Okay. And that's why when I train adults, I say, hey, Just do 10 to 15 minutes a day of practice. I want you to have fun with
Yeah.
this. I want this to be like play. I don't want you to sit there and think, oh, I've got to do my mindsight. I got to get my mindsight, because those are the people that really have a hard
Mhm.
time getting it.
Mhm.
The people that do this are the people that are so detached from it. They're like, oh, this is cool. I'm going to try this. But they don't care.
They don't
I
care.
hate to say that. And people that, real type A, people that have real driven, and that's my personality, true, but those people typically are the ones that have a little harder time.
Yeah.
Like, people always ask me about my husband. I'm like, my husband, I'll laugh about it. I'm like, he could have cared less.
Mhm.
He could have cared less. He put that mask on, he's playing around, and then next thing you know, he's seeing and reading, doing everything. And then I'll have people that have come to me, and they have done years,
Yeah.
years of training.
Yeah.
And they're like, that guy just did it in 5
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
It's, so there's truly no rhyme or reason. It's a very unique process. But I do think, it has a lot to do with shifting from that analysis, that protector mode into that fun,
Mhm.
creative, intuitive side of you. If you can act like a kid, you're going to do really good at Mindsight. If you are fun, laughing, playing, you think this is a game, you'll have it in a minute. It's amazing. But when they're real serious and they've got every question, and they come to my sessions and they have a new mask every time
Oh.
because every mask didn't work, I'm like,
Mhm. Mhm.
it's gonna take them longer because their analysis is just, I say it, analysis
Yeah.
paralysis.
Yeah.
And if you shift it, if you could just shift into that playful state. But let me put these on
Yeah.
quickly and we'll
Those are
see. So
cool.
I really like these patches. They cover up the whole eye. I think they're for maybe a lazy eye to
Mhm.
help with that, but I like them because they're super comfortable. They have a nice eye. You see the eye socket
Mhm.
area, and they have Velcro. I have some others that don't Velcro, and they really can get into your skin and rub
Yeah.
hard.
And
So
they're not reusable. These are great that you can.
yes, now I do have all those sticker
Yeah.
patches. And if you go to any of my sites, you can see me doing like a bunch of demonstrations. I have some that even have I have on multiple eye patches,
Mhm.
the sticker kind. But okay, so I'll put these on. All right, so feels pretty good. Look good to you, Kelly.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you're gonna put the mask on top of
Okay,
that.
yes, I'm gonna wear the mask. All right. So the funny thing, and I had a lady the other day in a session, and she says, I can't believe this, Brooke. She had on eye patches and 2 masks in a practice session. And she's like, how is it that I can see better now? And I'm
Oh.
like, it happens because now that I have all these layers, it's like the physical eyes really are just gone.
Okay.
So I've got some Unos. I'm just going to mix these up, do a few of these. They may be upside down. Let's see.
That's all right.
All right. So, yep, a red 6,
Yep.
a yellow 6. Yeah, all of them are upside down. Okay. A 4 green, 4 red, 5 yellow, 8 red, and a 4 green. And Kelly, did you write something?
Yep. You're 100%. Let's see. My
All
handwriting
right.
bad.
It's not, but the video is coming in and
All
out.
right.
Oh wait. The cow is in the barn.
I don't know. Yeah, that works. That's it. You could never have guessed that. I can tell you that. So,
Yep.
I
So
mean,
I
do your
got my
neighbors
patches.
know that this is what's wild to me? You're just a normal family in a normal neighborhood, and meanwhile, everybody's walking around with layers of blindfolds on, doing it all 100% accuracy. It is just so
So
crazy.
my neighbor, we used to live in a suburban city neighborhood.
Okay.
And yes, I think they knew and they probably thought we were all nuts. But now we live out in a ranch. We're in
Oh,
Arizona,
okay.
so it's, we're very more secluded.
Not what you need to
So
be. It's
yeah.
just funny to me to think about, like, my husband has all these videos of me with my mask walking out in the sunlight in our backyard, like, just standing there, like, this meditative state, just letting the sun come in, and, like, he's, like, videoing, like, "What are the neighbors he's laughing at it, like, "Does
Yeah.
anybody else's wife do things like this?" Oh, it's just a
Yes. I
trip.
mean, I'm sure all my family still thinks, more distant family, they all still think I'm
Oh,
crazy,
it's
even
fine.
immediate family.
But I mean, you gotta laugh, and then again, when they have an opportunity to try it, that's what I urge everyone. Just try it, find a way to see again, grab
Yeah,
the neighbor
and
kid.
I know I said this, but if you get a blackout mask and you put it on for the first time, it's going to be black.
Yeah.
It's going to be completely black. And then as you sit there, you're going to start to notice light. You're going to start maybe just peripheral. It may just seem like it's getting slightly brighter, just a little bit, right? And then as you sit there, especially if you do use external
Mhm.
light, whether a flashlight or a sunlight, you're going to start to notice more light and you're going to start to see what I usually refer to as the stars, but they're like little spots all around throughout your mask. It starts to look like a galaxy.
Mm.
And what truly happens the longer you practice and believe that your light is turning on and that you're going to see these stars come together and you get this opening. And it may be small at first, it may be so small, but if you keep going, it's going to get so big. I mean, those windows are going to expand. So I did the coolest thing the other day. I just have to share.
Yeah.
I drove my husband's truck with the blindfold on. I haven't put this out there and I probably won't because you know how people are.
Right,
Yeah. I
right.
was like, I don't need someone
It could
trying to
just
turn
be
me in.
anecdotal on a podcast without it being filmed on
But
Instagram. Yeah.
we have a very long dirt road
Okay.
to our house. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I've been wanting to do this. There have been times where I have slipped it on and turned into my
Sure.
driveway, like when we were more in the city. But this is like, I have more of an opportunity out here.
Yes.
So I
Wow.
did it. And let me tell you, I did it twice. The first time I did it, it was really nice. My mindsight was behaving wonderfully that day because I had this opening like right in the
Mm,
middle, which is what you want if you're
mhm,
trying to drive, right?
mhm.
So I was excited and I was driving. The first time I did it though, and I talk about this often, but proprioception is
Oh, yeah.
something that you have to really get used to with mindsight when you are doing like sports or activities, anything like that, because this is not your physical vision. So you're going to feel like kind of wonky, for lack of better terms, like your brain is adjusting to this. So the first time I did it, I was like, whoa, like I felt like I could see, I'm driving, I could see, but I felt like this funny head feeling, right?
Okay.
And just the second time it went away, it was
Mm,
already like adjusted. I could do it. It was so much easier. I was like, wow, this is amazing. And this is what I tell moms with kids and dads with the
mm.
kids in training. Take them out, let them play sports. Initially, they may feel kind of funny, off balance, but as they keep going, it gets really like laser. They're like just on it. I mean, my son Mark can climb trees in the mask,
Yeah.
like ride bicycles. Like it's amazing.
So cool. All right, well, I'm fully
It is
inspired. I've gotta
cool.
practice when we get off because I haven't in a little while, so I'm gonna see what could happen. I
Get
love it.
that mask out,
That's right.
Kelly. Just want to say, I do have something super
Oh,
exciting happening. I don't even know if I told you, Kelly, but
no.
I have an app releasing in about 3 weeks. I don't
Okay.
know when this will air, but it should release by middle of the June. It's going to be Quanta Bliss Mindsight.
All
It's a
right.
teaching and educational app for learning mindsight. So, inside of this app, I'm so excited. We're going to have a community where people can come together and learn from each other and connect and meet. We're also going to have monthly gatherings where I do live guided 90-minute trainings with Q&As. And then there's going to be lots of education, little mini courses to help you open up your mind sight, keep developing it no matter what level you are at. This is going to be something that you're going to want to check out. I'm really excited. So
Ah,
you'll be able to find that on Apple and Google
okay.
in your Play Store in about 3 weeks from now. Yeah.
I am so excited for you because people are tired of connecting on Facebook and like they just don't want to be on social media as much anymore. And having your own app
Yeah.
and a way of like-minded people to get this is so exciting. I'm ready for you to do a whole tutorial on productivity and how you get everything done because you're also an expert at that.
I don't know. Sometimes I don't do it very gracefully. I'll
Well,
tell
from
you
this
that.
side of the camera, it's pretty impressive. So I can't wait to check that out. That is a very exciting offering.
Thank you.
And
So
everybody
I
check
do
out
have one last.
well, I was going to say you have to
Sorry.
people cannot forget to check out your website with all you've got so much going on all the time with your free stuff and classes
Yes.
and but go ahead, tell us.
Well, I was going to say, yes, I do free workshops
Mhm.
every month. So if you're brand new to Mindsight, always check my website out, drbrookesoto.com, and you will always see a free event. And these are awesome. And I've really have started to do a lot of practice at these events. It's been a lot of fun, do some mini activations for people so they can just start to experience the beginning of this process. But what I wanted to say quickly, Kelly, you may have noticed this, you may have not, but this is a dime over here.
I didn't notice it.
And if you rewind the video, of course, it's been in this podcast the whole time. It's actually been there for about 3 weeks. So, my little son, Waylon, we started practicing more telekinesis and moving objects, sticking objects. And he did this, and he actually has another one across the room that he did. And so, all he did was he thought about sending his energy out and having this dime stay there, And I just told him, I said, send the energy to it, think about it connecting and staying. And it has been amazing.
Yes.
So now all my kids are doing this. It's so fun. Actually, I've had a lot of my Mindsight clients because they keep seeing it. And I'm like, it's no coincidence that he put it right beside my head
Mhm.
so that every time I'm teaching, I see it, I think about it. I'm like, wow, how unlimited are we?
Yeah.
Like, I have gotten on top of this dime. I have videoed it. I've tried to figure out how it's still on the wall,
Mhm. Mhm. That's
but
incredible.
it's like, it is. And anybody at home, I would encourage you, if you're interested, you can do it too. It's really fun. And kids, just like Mindsight, they
Mhm.
seem to do it so easily because they just believe and they just send that energy out and it connects.
I
It's
mean,
amazing.
that's a whole nother episode because I would love to
That
talk
is,
and maybe Waylon needs to come on. That would be a really cool one. And
I do actually have a video of him doing it and
okay.
showing everybody, and it just stays.
Oh
It's
my gosh. Well, and
amazing.
I've only done it once where I swear I could feel the difference that I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
it's gonna stick this time. And it did, but then I couldn't recreate it because that darn left side of my brain kicked in and I could feel that too. Like, oh, you created a seal, like all this stuff. But then no, you're right. It is possible my kids could do it better. And then I kept trying again and it kept falling. But it's like they could do it.
Yes.
It's
And let me tell you,
incredible.
this dime is not in a safe spot. My kids have beat this
Uh,
wall. They have jumped around. They have done it's by a closet. Like it I'm like, how?
yeah.
How? Like it's amazing.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
that. I mean, there's so much to explore. And that's it, right? People can have their opinions, but go try it. Go try it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to have your links to everything and to Mark's book and make sure that people know where to find you because you are such a resource. There's several teachers out there, but to me, Brooke, your positive attitude and like just talking to you, I feel like anything's possible. And so, I mean, I
Thank
just
you,
think that
Kelly.
is just such a gift that you have to give to the world. So thank you for being here.
Thank you. Well, I truly enjoy it. It's amazing work. It's so fun. It truly is. I say it all the time, like, gosh, I never thought I would laugh this much all day. When
Mhm.
I do sessions, we're laughing, it's fun, it's entertaining, and it really does get adults into that playful side of them, and it's great. It's beautiful.
Well, thank you for
Yeah.
being here.
Thank you. Have a good
Bye. You
day.
too.
Bye.